Hey there everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. That wasn't very good. Single and Placing. Hi. Hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Hello, hello, hello. We're out here just doing a little walk and chat with the boy. Just set this to walking. Yeah, I figured I'd pop on and say hi. It's been a minute since I posted a vlog. I think it's been like almost 2 weeks, but what's funny is in that time I have filmed / attempted to film, gosh, maybe 4 or 5 vlogs, an attempt. And some of the attempts were successful. Like I filmed a full vlog and then, and some of them were responding to comments. So my apologies if I gave your comment a heart and a like, but we never actually talked about anything. Like I never really responded. Because sometimes I was like, I go down tons of rabbit holes all the time, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I was listening back to some of my vlogs. I'm like, why am I being so sassy? Not sassy, but just like, I felt like I was ranting more than, like I had an uptick in ranting. One of them, I was ranting about this dog food company that had a bunch of drama that annoyed me. And then that whole Enablers Outpost thing, I was like going on and on about that. Like even, was it yesterday or the day before, I filmed this whole thing. Because like there was a couple comments that I responded to, and a couple people didn't know what was going on. So I was like, let me give you a recap of what happened and why they got on my nerves and why I don't care for that shop or that shop owner. I was like, you know what? I think at the end of the day, I don't care. Like I'm talking about it so much, even though I like really am not that invested. So I was like, I don't know. I was just like over myself. Like I was sick of hearing myself whine about a couple different things. So I was like, you know what? Let's start fresh. I'm done. I'm good. I'm not interested in hashing all that out. And I've talked about this a lot, that one of my favorite drag queens has a podcast called Very Delta, and she does this an intro on all of her podcasts where she fries a small fish. So like complaining about or going on about the condiments at McDonald's and how you can ask for them a million times, but they still have a hard time putting them in the bag. Or, gosh, there's so many. Applebee's, just the quality and service at Applebee's not being very good. And one time she DoorDashed a Subway sandwich, and even though she hadn't asked for the sandwich to be toasted, they had toasted her sub with all the veggies on it. So she's like, I didn't ask for it to be toasted, but then to toast it and toast the lettuce? To toast my lettuce? Are you kidding? Like, so there are these like 15, 20-minute monologues about something that's pretty inconsequential, but it's funny to listen to because it's all true and it's hilarious. And she says like, I make it sound like this is all I think about are these little complaints. I don't. These are small fish, but it's fun and it's funny to kind of get in deep about something that is very inconsequential. And that's kind of how I've felt about a couple of things I've been ranting about. But I felt like there was like the past couple vlogs I've tried to film, that's kind of all I was doing. And I was like, I don't think so. So I've just been deleting them off the memory. I deleted them off the memory card. I'm like, you know what? We're just going to start fresh. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. So I'm still going to always complain and rant about things. But the dog food one, I just felt like I went way in too deep about it. then the Enablers Outpost thing, I'm just like, I don't care. I thought it was funny it's fun to dig into it, but I understand that it's a little bit different because it's, this community is pretty tight. So I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. All I'll say is I hope that I'd never see or hear from that shop again. And I was assuming that was the case, but then that whole live stream thing happened, and I was like, hey, I try to go out of my way to avoid being in these situations, and here I am, so, but it's fine. It's fine. None of it matters. They don't really matter to me, so I'm not going to talk about it. Like I said, I was responding to some comments about it, and I was just like going in, and then I listened to it back, and I was like, I'm sick of hearing me talk about it. So I can only imagine what others feel like. So anyway, life's going good. Work's going good. So in the past couple weeks since we've chatted last, I did a putt-putt golf thing with Matt, Jackie, and Laura. I think I mentioned that. Maybe I didn't. But if I didn't, we did this indoor putt-putt golf thing a couple weekends ago. That was a lot of fun. And then we went and had a couple drinks after. Lots of hiking and walking around with Apollo, trying to put in more miles. And what else have I done? Yesterday I went to a Japanese cultural festival with Dom. It was called Spirit of Japan, and it was at Sakura Square, which is kind of this like Japanese centric neighborhood, or like a couple city blocks in Denver, downtown Denver. So they blocked off a couple of the streets and had a ton of food vendors, and the shops that are in this like market, like the permanent shops, had like different sales and deals. They had a couple of dance performances, and a whole big long line. Like one whole street was different sakes and Japanese beers and Japanese whiskey and Japanese this and that, like all your spirits and stuff. And then they had like a non-alcoholic area with teas and different Japanese sodas. So it was a ton of fun. We got there at 2 yesterday, and in my head I was like, oh, we'll probably be here for like an hour or so. We were there until like 6. We spent a long time there, and it was so much fun. We were just walking around and seeing all the sights. I think I have a picture of us in front of the sign for it. I was gonna film, but it was packed. There were so many people there, and we kind of had our hands full with drinks and food and stuff, so it was kind of hard to try to film anything. So I didn't film, but we did take a picture. I'll have to ask her to send it to me because I think she used her phone. So we did that, and I also had Maverick this past few days. I had him Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and today is Sunday. I had him Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we just did walks. I didn't take them on any major hikes or anything. We just did walks around town. But I don't know what happened yesterday morning, but I think it's because I went and threw out the trash, and I don't think the back door shut completely, and so maybe the wind blew it open, and he got out in the morning. So that was fun. He was running around town, and it took me over an hour to track him down. I was just driving up and down these streets looking for him. At first I started walking and I didn't see him. So I came home, got in the car, and drove around. Finally, I see him crossing between somebody's yards, way at the other end of the block over by the brewery. And I'm like, Maverick. And so I was able to snag him and put him in the car, and he is an escape artist. He looks for any way to get away. Even when we're walking, he'll pull, like, he's pulling like if, Apollo's here, he'd be pulling off in that direction to try to, he wants to run off and just live his own life. He's always been like that. He's a 100% Siberian Husky. I'm not sure if he's been on the channel before. I'll put in a picture of him. I also have a picture of him when Apollo was just a puppy. Maverick's 12 now, and he's the reason why I fell in love with Huskies as a breed, because he's just such a cute little fluffy bunny. He's super vocal. He loves to howl and yelp and talk to you. And it feels like he knows when you're talking to him. He's just adorable, but he's a little escape artist. There's been times where he's broken out of Alex and MJ's house, and they used to live where I live. So Maverick knows this house. They live across town now, but there's been times where he's broken out of their house and ran all the way over here, which is a long way. And he's come home beat up and limping and scratched, like he got into a tussle with another dog or an animal or something. Like, he breaks out. So they've secured their fences now because of how he is. And they even replaced their door because he could open the handle. They had to replace it to a knob. So he got out, and I was so stressed because I'm like, this dog is in my care, and what if something happens? So I was freaking out, but I found him, and he's fine. So I took him home yesterday after I caught him. We went on a walk with Apollo, and then I took him home and then went to the festival. So yeah, that was yesterday. So I missed Mary Making Crafts, Mary Making and More. I missed her relaunch live stream because I was running around trying to find this dog, which sucked, but I did watch it on the replay, and it looks like it was a lot of fun, and her shop relaunch seems to have been a success, which is great to hear. I bought one of everything that was new, that I didn't already get sent as a sample. So I got the two other magic sheets, Merry Magic anti-static sheets. I got the grape soda and the fall harvest, but I already had the unicorn burps because she sent that to me as a sample. So I had those, and then I got all of the new released putties, and I think I may have even gotten a couple that were restocks that I didn't have in my collection. I just bought anything I didn't already have. So it was a pretty big order. And then I got a cover minder that is, she had dogs, little cute dogs that were dressed as ghosts that glow in the dark. And she had a white dog. And I was like, it's Apollo. So I got that. So I'm looking forward to that. As soon as I get those in, I will be doing an unboxing, which I haven't done an accessories unboxing in I don't know how long. So I am super stoked for that. So did that. What else? What else has been going on? Other than that, I've just been kind of working and living life. Hey, can you get up? Can you get up there? Go, go, go. Go on. Don't pull me around. Don't pull me around today. Okay, come on. Come on. Hup. He is extra sniffy today. Him and Apollo are like both, or him and Maverick are both super sniffy dogs. And so I tried, one of the failed attempts at filming was walking both of them, and they were making me pull them along in different places. I was walking like this, just getting like yanked left and right. And I was like, after like 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this because I'm sounding frustrated at them, which I was, but I'm like, who wants to hear a video of me being like, Apollo, Maverick, Apollo, come on, like the whole time. So I was like, okay, we're gonna just cancel this one too. So I've been doing so much filming, but I'm not gonna use any of it. And again, I was trying to respond to comments throughout all of this. And so if I did heart and like, but you didn't hear a response, I'm sorry. I try to get to as many as possible, but I'm not going to try to go through and find the ones that I need to respond to. If there was a burning question that you had or needed information about and I didn't respond to it as of yet, please post it again and I will get back to it. My apologies. So yeah, the past couple of weeks have just been, I've been doing a lot of friend stuff and hanging out with friends and going to dinners and this and that, but mainly just a lot of working. Just working a lot. So yeah. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go, big boy? You want to go this way? But it's a beautiful day out. It's not too hot. It's relatively mild, but the sun's out. So it's like a nice fall feeling day. So I was like, let's go put some miles in. But I had to wait until I was done with Mia's live. She had her birthday live today, and we went for what would that be? 3 hours? Yeah, a little less than 3 hours. So, which was fine by me, but I had all my stuff on, like put my watch on, got my shoes on and all that. And I was like, okay, we'll head out as soon as Mary's live is done. And then it went longer than I thought. So Apollo's looking at me like, are we going? Are we gonna go? Are we leaving? And so I was like, okay, let's actually go ahead and just go. And I'll just wait to start filming our walk until after Mia's live's done so I can keep listening. And like right as I made that decision and like put my sunglasses on, got the camera on, she was like, okay, I'm done. I was like, oh, well, that was good timing. So, but it was fun. It was one of the more fun live streams that I've been on in quite some time. It's always a blast over with Mia, but she had David on, her husband, and he was playing his guitar for everyone, and we were saying happy birthday to her, and she did an unboxing or unwrapping of a gift that she got from Adam, which is another content creator. It was just so much fun, and it just kind of reinforced my thing of like, okay, it's time to move on from all this stuff that's been going on or that you've been trying to respond to people and talk about. Like, let's just bury it. we're good. Like, there's so much good times to be had on live streams and in the community that that there's no need, other than the fact that sometimes it's fun to dig in, but there's no need to dwell on anything else. Just the fun stuff is the most important stuff, and this was a blast. So if you haven't joined Mia's lives on Sundays it's 11 a.m. Mountain Time, so it would be noon Central, 1 Eastern, right? And then I guess 10 Pacific. I think that's the right breakdown. You really should, because they're a ton of fun, and there's some really fun content creators that hop on rather frequently. So yeah, and then here we are, going on this walk. So what else has been going on? We're a little over 3 weeks away from my next trip. And there was one comment from somebody that was asking about meeting up. So I'll mention it here. So I'll be going to do this whole Nashville, Kentucky, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Virginia, and Maryland trip starting October 10th through November 2nd. And there's a break in there. But that's my next theme park trip. There's a work conference in there too. But I'll give you the dates and everything, because everything's set in stone now. If you want to meet up anywhere, and I'll kind of highlight where the best time to meet up would be for anyone that's interested. And if you are interested, the way to reach out so we can meet up is please reach out to me on Instagram. It's hard to try to coordinate meetups via YouTube comments, because what if I don't get to your comment in time and then it's we never the connection was missed because I didn't see your comment in time. But if you message me on Instagram saying, hey, I heard on your video that you're going to be in this city or this town or at this theme park, I'd like to meet up with you, that's the way to do it. And that's how me and Doretta Chocolate Diamonds did it, is she reached out to me on Instagram, was like, hey, I'm going to be in Denver visiting family. Do you want to meet up? And so we just exchanged numbers, so on and so forth. So if you want to do that, Instagram. And here's the breakdown. So on October 10th, I'll be landing in Nashville in the morning, picking up my rental car, and that's a Friday, October 10th. And I'll be driving straight out of Nashville right up to Louisville to go to Kentucky Kingdom theme park. And I will have some time in between, so I will be stopping at Mammoth Cave National Park on my way up to Louisville. But I'll be at Kentucky Kingdom from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., I think is their operating hours that day. So I'll be there for that. And then I leave Kentucky Kingdom at 10 and drive to Cincinnati and sleep. And then Saturday, the 11th, I will be spending the entire day open to close at Kings Island in Mason, Ohio, which is just outside of Cincinnati. So I'll be there from open to close. That's not 10 a.m. to midnight. I will be there. So if you want to come with me to Kings Island on that day, more than welcome to. I also have a bring a friend pass to use there that I don't have anyone that's coming with me. So if you can get in for free. That doesn't include parking. You'd have to pay for your own parking, but I can get you in for free. But something to keep in mind is my plan for that first day is to really speed run and try to hit up all the roller coasters and all of that stuff. So it's going to be go, go, go. Very high energy. You also need to be comfortable with me filming you potentially, because I'll be doing a lot of filming in the park. So it's going to be a lot of speed walking from coaster to coaster and trying to get all the credits. It's a lot. And I just want to make sure, like, if you are interested, just know it's a lot. But I'd love to have you there if you're up for it. So that'll be Saturday. Then Sunday, I'll still be in Cincinnati, but I'll be going to Stricker's Grove, which is a small little family-run theme park about half an hour outside of Cincinnati, for their Customer Appreciation Day. They're open from noon to 8. So if you wanted to get breakfast or a coffee or something that morning before I head over there, and you're not really into the park scene and you're fine, doing that in Cincinnati somewhere, that would be a good opportunity to hang out for a couple hours and just chit chat. No theme parks required. But I'll be at Stricker's Grove from noon to like 2 or 3. So if you wanted to come do that, you could too, and I'm happy to pay for your entry ticket. But again, I'll be scrambling around getting some filming done, and I actually got permission from the park management to film on ride, which is pretty rare. So I got permission as a small, tiny little content creator to film on ride with my GoPros. So I may be there riding the roller coasters a few different times to get different seats, to get the right shots and stuff. So if, again, you're comfortable with hanging out while I'm doing that and riding the 2 roller coasters several times to get good shots and stuff, I'm cool with that too. Once that's done, I'll be leaving Stricker's Grove and going back to Kings Island. And my plan is to stop at a vegan food truck for lunch that one of my friends here in Colorado, her mom runs a vegan food truck in Cincinnati. So I plan on stopping there for lunch. So if you wanted to meet up for lunch, I'd say probably like a late lunch. We're talking anywhere from 3 to 4. Then late lunch, early dinner. Then let me know and we can go to the vegan food truck together. Hold on. And then after that, I will be going back to Kings Island to do a second day, part day. So like 4 to 5 to midnight again. So that's a second opportunity to come with me to Kings Island if you'd like. Again, that's Sunday the 12th. And that my goal is to either do any rides that I didn't have time or the opportunity to do last time, and then also do a lot of just filming of their nighttime and Halloween stuff that they have available, the seasonal stuff on that day. So I may be doing the haunted houses and stuff that day, which is usually an extra charge, but again, I can at least pay for get you into the park for free. But any extras like the haunted houses that I do and stuff, I have to buy a separate ticket, but I'd be happy to pick up yours too. So let me know. There's actually been, I think, 2 people that have asked me about the Ohio portion of this trip. So it'll be the 11th and the 12th of October, a Saturday and a Sunday. You just let me know if any of that sounds appealing to you, and reach out to me on Instagram. Single and placing. Ready? Up. So I leave Kings Island and I drive from there on Sunday night all the way to Pigeon Forge. And so I probably won't be getting into Pigeon Forge until the morning or later if I stay at Kings Island till midnight again. And then I'll be sleeping, obviously, for at least maybe a few hours, a couple hours. And then I'm at Dollywood Monday the 13th, open to close. I think that is 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., one of the two. And so I'll be doing a day at Dollywood. I will have a friend with me there one of the 2 days. So if you want to meet up in Pigeon Forge and come to Dollywood, I probably wouldn't spring for your ticket on that one because Dollywood is expensive. But if you want to come, I'll be there. So that Monday, open to close. Again, that first day is trying to get all of my roller coasters done and all my credits done and film the park. So that'll be that day. And I also bought the fast lane, like the skip the line pass, which was also not cheap. So I can make the most out of that day. But again, if you're up for that kind of energy and putting those miles in and running around the park all day, I would love to have people to come with me. But I just don't want anyone to come and we're like, okay, it'll just be like an easy, chill day where we're just chit-chatting. I'm gonna be like hoofing it from ride to ride, trying to get as much done as I can. So that's Monday. And then Tuesday, I am at Dollywood again for a second day, open to close. I think their hours are the same that day, like a 10 to 9 or a 9 to 10, one of those. So you have that option there. I didn't get the fast pass that day, so I do plan on that second day again being a little bit more chill, just picking up any rides that I missed. But I also got their fall harvest tasting pass, which gives you access to the seasonal food items that they have across the park. You can do 5 items, any 5 seasonal items, and they have a bunch of beverages, which counts as a ticket, one of the 5 tickets. They have a bunch of savories that each count as a ticket, and then they have a bunch of sweets. So you can pick 5. I was like, okay, maybe I'll do 2 drinks, 2 savories, and a sweet, I'm thinking is what I'll do, or maybe 1 drink. They have the menu posted on the Dollywood site already, and it all looks really good. It's going to be hard to choose. But again, if you want to come that day, I would be fine probably picking up your little harvest pass so you can tour the seasonal delights at Dollywood with me. And this goes for any time I go to parks and someone wants to come with me. Just let me know in advance, and I want you to have a good experience, and I don't want someone to feel like, yeah, Anthony wants to meet up with me, but it's going to cost me $100 out the door. I'll do my best to cover what I can because I do want to spend time with you guys. And I will be traveling a lot as part of this theme park stuff. And it would be a great way to meet some crafters across the country and across the globe. But I'd hate to miss out on meeting someone because of financial reasons. You know what I mean? I'd hate for finances to be like the reason why I didn't get to meet someone, like a once in a lifetime opportunity to meet somebody, you know? So I'll do my best to spot you, you know, if you need that. So anyway, Dollywood, Tuesday the 14th, open to close. But early that morning, I think they must open at 10 because I plan on waking up early and popping over to Smoky Mountains and doing a morning hike, like a sunrise hike or something before I go to the park. So if you didn't want to do the park and you're up for meeting at the Smoky Mountains early and hanging out and going on a little stroll, something small, something quick and small, because I don't have a ton of time, but I'll be doing that Tuesday morning. I'd say 6 o'clock, maybe even earlier, depending on when sunrise is. So yeah, that's Tuesday. Then Dollywood closes, and then I plan on trying to go on one of their alpine coasters, their mountain coasters. And I think I'll only have time for one. It'll be a night ride, and it's probably gonna be their single rail alpine coaster, meaning, you know how when you're on a roller coaster, there's 2 tracks because there's 2 sets of wheels, one on each side. So it's like a train track. Well, they have mountain coasters that have a single rail. So you're on one rail and the cart just bolts onto that. And I've heard that they're much more intense and forceful than your traditional ones. And I really want to experience one. There's only, I think, that one in the entire US. And I think there's only like a handful globally, but there's one in Pigeon Forge. So I'm going to check that out. I think they close at 11, so that should give me time to go and do it. So again, if that sounds like your cup of tea, you're more than welcome to come. And once that's done, I will be driving from Pigeon Forge back to Nashville. And then I have my work conference Wednesday the 15th and Thursday the 16th is a work conference. The work conference usually ends around 3 or 4 each day. So I have the evening off to do as I wish. I will be spending probably a decent amount of time with friends, you know, my buddies, Matt and Luke from Nashville. So I'll probably be doing a lot of friend stuff. But again, if you want to meet up for a coffee, or we can make something work, or a cocktail or whatever, we can make something work. So just let me know again. And then I go home that Friday. And I think my flight's pretty early, so I probably won't have any free time on that Friday. So that's leg 1 of the trip. And then leg 2, let's cross the street here, is a couple weeks later. I am going to Virginia and Maryland, starting Friday, October 31st. So on Friday, October 31st, I fly from Denver to DC, to the Reagan Airport, I think. And I'll be immediately getting in my rental car and driving down to Virginia to go to King's Dominion. And that is in, if you need to know, Doswell, Virginia is where King's Dominion is. As far as closest cities, I guess if you live there, you'd know. Outside of Richmond. It's between Richmond and DC. So outside of Richmond is King's Dominion. I'll be getting there Friday, ideally for park open. I think they're only open that day. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I get there part day. But it would be an evening. Let's just say that. An evening at King's Dominion. So let's just say 5 to close, whenever they close. So if that's something you wanted to do, we could meet there. I have a season pass, but I will cover your ticket for that one because it's much cheaper than Dollywood. So I will pay to get you in if you need that. So I'm there that day. Again, that one will be a little bit in reverse because I'm only there, I think, for a part day. I think. So that might be the more casual day where I'm just getting the Halloween scenery and just kind of showing the park in general. Of course, getting on some roller coasters, but I'm not going to try to do my marathon if I don't have a full day. And then the next day, which is Saturday, November 1st, I am there at King's Dominion again for an entire day open to close. And I think that one is like a 9 to 10 or something like that, 10 to 9. So you could come that day too. That'll be one of the crazy days, running around, trying to hit all my credits. There's a lot of roller coasters at that park, and a lot of them that I've been dreaming of getting on. So I'll be doing a lot of running around, and I don't think I've purchased my Skip the Line tickets for that park yet, but I will be. So if you come that day and you want to hang out in line with me, you'd probably need to snag one of those. And I'll probably get the meal pass too for that day. So there's a chance that the Coaster Studios crew, the 2 content creators that I'm obsessed with, will be there that day as well. So we might be working around their filming too, because one of the content creators, Taylor, that's where he's from, is Richmond. So King's Dominion is his home park, and they will be at the park that we're going to the next day, Sunday. And they said if they end up staying with Apollo, come here. Can you sit? Apollo, can you sit? Thank you. So if they said just depending on where they end up, they might be staying with Taylor's parents because they still live in Richmond. And if they do stay there, then they'll most likely go to King's Dominion before the other park that we're going to. So there's a chance that they might be in Virginia with me, but they might just fly and stay where the last stop is. So I'm not sure. So that's Saturday the 1st, open to close, and then I drive from there back up to Bowie, Maryland, and that's where Six Flags America is. And I'll be at Six Flags America from open to close, which is 10 to 6. So on that day, that's going to be a really big filming day. So I don't know if I'll have much time to hang out. If you want to come, I mean, I'd love to have you, but just keep in mind that that's that park's closing day for business. Like, they're shutting that park down, and Sunday, November 2nd is their final day of operation. So there's a lot of roller coaster and theme park fans and people that are going as like a little pilgrimage to that park to bid it farewell. So it's going to be a lot of coaster people. I'm probably going to be meeting a whole bunch of people that I've been talking to online for the very first time in person. So I may be pretty distracted, and I just don't, I would hate for someone to be like, I want to meet Anthony, I'm going to go to this park. And then you get there and we're not chit-chatting as much as I would like to, and as you would like to. So just keep that in mind. But that is from 10 to 6. And then I don't leave until Monday morning. So I technically have that evening in Maryland free after 6 p.m. I have a feeling that all the coaster people are going to want to go out and hang out. And I don't know if they're the party scene, or I was thinking maybe I could convince a few people to go to karaoke or something. But I have a feeling there's going to be some after park activities since there's going to be so many of us there. I'm just in the people that I converse with, I'd say there's 20 to 30 coaster enthusiasts that will be there. And that's just in our little circle. I'm sure there's going to be hundreds. Huh? So just keep that in mind. I just don't want anyone to feel like, wow, I drove all the way to Maryland going to a theme park that I'm not particularly interested to meet up with Anthony, and I barely got to see him for 10 minutes, you know. But if you are a social person and don't mind being in the mix with a whole bunch of new people, and you're fine getting on these rides, and I can only imagine that it's just going to be a lot of enthusiasts, so a lot of energy. When I went to the Cedar Point Coaster Mania last year, just like everyone was talking about the coasters that they've been on, like the energy, it's a lot, even for me. Well, especially me, because I typically don't like a lot of that, but I just, again, fair warning, but I want you there. I'm just trying to set you up for success. So, because I know I had somebody ask me about if I'm still coming to Maryland. So, yes, November 2nd, 10 to 6 at Six Flags America in Bowie, Maryland. I will be there. So, if you're interested, let me know. So yeah. And then Monday I fly home. And that's it for October and November. So again, if any of that sounds of interest to you, be it at a park or in between, please let me know on Instagram so we can exchange numbers and actually, you know, get it figured out. Because I think that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, that's that. And budget depending, I may do one last trip in December to Six Flags Park that's open year round, just to take advantage of my season pass. But it's budget dependent, you know, if I want to do the flights and the Airbnb. But in December I have quite a few days off, because we have at my job what they call personal days. So everybody gets 9 personal days a year that are just added to your vacation bank at the start of every year. Everybody gets 9 at the start of the year. They're yours to use as you see fit, but they don't roll over year to year. It resets back to 9. So it's a use it or lose it situation. Well, for all the trips that I've done this year, I don't take a lot of vacations, especially since I have every other Friday off. What I like to do is, let's say we have a Monday off for a holiday, and sometimes it just so happens that I have that Friday off as well. Then I get a 4-day weekend. I'll try to go do something. Or sometimes I'll take a Thursday off too, so I have a 5-day. So really I'm only taking 1 vacation day, but I have 5 consecutive days off, including the weekend. So I try to strategize all of that to minimize the amount of actual vacation I use. So even though I've gone on a few trips this year and taken some time off, I still had 4 of my personal leave days to use, 4, maybe even 5 out of the 9. So I wanted to use them before I lose them. And so my boss was like, well, just pick some days off in November and December and just take the days off. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't have any plans. And she's like, well, just take them. And if you don't have plans, then it's hangout days, you know? And she's right, you know, I can diamond paint, I can hang out. So I took, I think 1 day off around Thanksgiving so I could make that Thanksgiving holiday longer. But I took a couple days off, I think the first going into the second week of December. So I have 6 days straight off, or 5 days straight off in December sometime, early December. So I was like, you know what? If money allows, I will go to California. So that's the soft plan. I'll be going to Six Flags Magic Mountain is the reason for the season. And that park is in Valencia? Yeah, that's in Valencia, California. So it's not too far from Santa Clarita, and then you start getting into the LA area, Burbank, that type of thing. So that's probably going to be the park that I go to. And then the secondary park is Knott's Berry Farm. I don't know. Some people, like, I hear Californians say Knott's Berry Farm because it's Knott's Berry Farm. So Knott's Berry Farm, it's a berry farm. But I always heard it as Knott's Berry. Like, their name is Knott's Berry, and then farm is its own word. But their name is not Knott's Berry. Their name is Knott's, and it's a berry farm. So I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. I've always said Knott's Berry Farm, but other people say it Knott's Berry Farm. So anyway, Knott's Berry Farm is not too far from all of this, and they're part of the Six Flags chain, so I'll get access to that park as well. So I think those are the two parks that I'll be going to in December, money permitting. And there's also some mountain coasters that I could see going to. There's also a small pier park somewhere in the LA area that has one coaster, one or two, but it's just a time thing. Will I have time to do all that? Because I will most likely do 2 days at Six Flags and then a day at Knott's, and then I've got my travel days on either end. So that's 5 days. So unless I can sneak away or figure something out, I'll probably just do those. And I don't have dates on those yet, but if you're in the LA-ish area, Southern California area, and you want to meet up, let me know. Early to mid-December, let me know. I'm not going to do Disney because I feel like that's its own trip, and I will not have the funds to pull off all of that. You know, the only reason that it makes sense to do Magic Mountain and Knott's Berry Farm is because I get in for free and I can park for free. So really all I need is flights, hotel, and a car. But all the stuff at the park is included, unless I want to do skip the line or, you know, meals and stuff. But I don't have to pay for the tickets or the parking, which is usually about $100 each park. So at least. So yeah, trying to do Disney, I need way more time, I'd need way more money. I'm not going to do Universal because they are opening their all new Fast and Furious coaster next year. So I don't want to go now. I want to wait until the new coasters open. And then I don't want to do, there's other Six Flags parks up in like the San Fran area. There's a Six Flags park that'll be closing in 2027 up in the San Francisco area. But that's such a haul to try to get from LA to San Fran. So I don't know if I'll ever get to that park before it closes. I don't think there are any coasters there that are like I must do before it goes away. That's kind of on its own out there, and there's not much else up there unless you know better if it would be worth the trip to fly into San Fran. Let me pull up where it is. Hold on, stay. Okay. So it looks like I actually might be able to justify a one and done trip out to that part of California, because we have Six Flags Great America, which is the Six Flags park. Oh, look at all these helicopters. What's going on? I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but there's 4 military helicopters flying. Just with everything going on in the world today, it just immediately makes me want to check the news. Like, what happened? Do I need to get home? Did something happen? But it could be nothing. Probably is nothing, but It's just nothing's ever nothing these days. Yeah, this guy's stopping to look too. Should I check? Let's check local news. I don't see anything on the local news feed. Okay. So there's Six Flags Great America, which is on the south end of kind of the San Francisco Bay Area. It's on the south side. That park's going to be closing. That park's going to be closing on the 2027 season. So it's not next season, but the season after that. The end of that is supposed to be the end of that park. So they've got 9 potential coasters there, but it looks like on the north end of the bay is Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, which I have not heard. I don't think there's any plans to close that, at least not at the time of filming this. But there's 10 credits there. And then even further south than Six Flags Great America, you have something called the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, which has 3 coasters. And then a place called Gilroy Gardens Family Theme Park that has 2. So you're looking at 24 potential coasters just in the Bay Area. So yeah, I'd like to do that before it closes. If it was just the one park, I probably would have been like, it's okay. But with that much available to me, I'd like to do that. And I'd probably do that in 2027 on their final year. I'd probably wait for then. Because there's no way I'll be able to go from LA to San Fran, do all of that in 5 days. That's crazy. Come on. Come on. Walk forward. Look at the puppies. You want to wait for him? How cute. Hi.
Not to bark.
Okay. He's so cute. Did you see the baby? That was a little baby. Yeah, that was a little baby. Come on. So yeah, and that LA trip, Magic Mountain and Knott's Berry Farm, they usually have some sort of winter holiday stuff going on. So it'll be cool to see how parks do the holidays, because I have never been to a theme park that late in the season, because where I live, the season usually ends in October after Halloween, because snow and coldness. So it'll be cool to go to a year-round park and see how they do Christmas and the holidays. So yeah, that'll be really fun. I've never seen a park for Halloween either. I've never even been to our local park, Elitch Gardens. What in the world is going on? I don't know if the mic's picking that up. I would assume so. They're just like circling. See this? They're literally circling us. Huh. It just makes me freaked out. Like, what's happening? Someone put out an alert on our phones if there's something we need to be concerned about. So, yeah, I've never even been to our local park to see the holiday stuff either. So I'll probably need to do that this year too. Go see what Elitch Gardens has to offer for not holidays, for Halloween, because they do like a Fright Fest. But I heard at Kings Island, the Cedar Fair parks, the Six Flags parks, they have a new haunted maze or haunted attraction based off The Conjuring. And I heard it's incredible, like really good. So I can't wait to see that. I think I'm gonna go for both Kings Island in mid-October and do the Kings Dominion one just to compare and contrast. So we'll see. But I'm super excited. So yeah, you'll have to let me know if you're available for any of those dates. And I'd love to meet up with you. Yeah, and we'll see how next year goes. I think all my money is going to be put towards moving and towards Europe. So I might be doing a little bit less, but I am hoping to at least get to a few Six Flags parks because of the season pass that I have. Hold on, potty break. Okay, we're gonna turn around and head back so I can throw this away, and I think we've gone far enough up here that we can flip around, because really, I don't think I'm gonna respond to comments. I think I'm just gonna do life stuff this time, and we'll just talk about diamond painting after this, and then that'll be that. Also, these helicopters, for whatever reason, I'm just like, okay, something's, this doesn't feel like, what do you call it, like testing or, yeah, I don't know. Am I the only one these days that's like on edge when stuff like that happens? Come on. Yeah, it doesn't feel like drills. I don't know. They're very centralized. Let's see where we're at with battery. Oh, we're looking pretty good. Come over here, please. So yeah, because I have that season pass all through next year, I can't pretend or make soft plans, because I need to find a new apartment, so I need to make sure I have, deposit down and all that stuff for that. And then this Europe trip is going to be quite the expense, so I need to just plan on investing in that. And the other thing, I really want to do this. I really want to be able to set money aside for this. And I mentioned it before that the Six Flags Qiddiya Park is slated to open either late this year or early next year. And I want to be in a position where I can just say, taking a week off, just got announced that this park is opening. I'm taking a week off and I'm flying to Saudi Arabia for a week. And I've already kind of priced out the flights. It's pricey, but not too crazy. I think it's going to be the hotel and the park tickets that are going to be the most expensive. But to be some of the first group of enthusiasts to go to that park, it's an all-new Six Flags theme park, which hasn't happened since the last time they built a Six Flags park from the ground up was the 70s or 80s. Otherwise, they've just got them through acquisitions. And this park has the tallest, fastest, longest roller coaster in the world. It has the tallest loop inversion, the highest a roller coaster has ever gone upside down. They have a tilt coaster, which essentially means you go up the hill, click, 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 you go to the top, you get to the edge, and it just looks like nothing. Like the track literally ends. There's no track. It just looks like you're gonna just drop off into space. It locks the track into place, or locks the train into place, so you're stuck there, and then it slowly tilts like a seesaw, tilts down, and there's nothing in front of you. You're just loose. Then once it gets completely vertical, it locks in with the track, that's the drop, and then it lets you go. So you're just hanging there like you're gonna roll right off the edge of the track. It's amazing. And they have one of those at Cedar Point that opened this year called Siren's Curse, but the one at Six Flags Qiddiya is the largest in the world. So they have a lot of firsts, a lot of biggest, tallest, fastest, record-breaking coasters for a number of different categories. It's a huge deal. They have this incredible looking water park. It just looks, it's that's what happens when the national government invests in tourism and has all that sweet, sweet oil money. Like, this thing is massive. So, hold on. So yeah, I'd love to be able to be one of the first, international coaster enthusiasts to make it there in their opening season. And even if I could swing it opening day or opening week. So I need to plan on having that money set aside to just pick up and go. So I'd really like to do that. And that would either happen, most likely in January or February is what they're slated. But I've been seeing progress photos on TikTok. I don't even have TikTok, but I find them and I'll just go watch that one. And then there's a website that keeps track of like all the roller coasters and theme parks and stuff that are under construction, and people can post like, hey, found this online, found this Facebook post. And from what I see, they still have a lot of work to do. So I don't know. I have a feeling that opening is going to get delayed. And if it gets delayed to like spring, summer, or fall of 2026, then I'll have to wait until after Europe to do it. But if they open on time, which they say is supposed to be early 2026, if they truly do open in like January, February, or March, then I'll go. And it'll just be a week trip, and I'm not doing any other parks, because the closest stuff would be Dubai. The closest stuff would be in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but it's not that close. So I would fly into Riyadh, get a car service to Qiddiya, which is like this whole entertainment city that they're building from the ground up. Get a car service to Qiddiya, and then just stay there on site. They're supposed to have hotels and everything. Stay there on site for 5 days, and then have a day and a half of travel on either end. So that would be the plan. But it's going to be the park tickets and the hotel that are going to kill me, not so much the flight. And I'll only be going to do that one thing. But to be able to say I did it in my lifetime, and I rode the tallest roller coaster in the world, and there's a very slim chance that record will ever be broken, because it's so expensive to build something like that, like unreasonably expensive. I forget what they said the approximated cost was, but it's in the hundred, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to build that one roller coaster. There's just no other privately owned amusement company that could ever do something like that. And there's probably not going to be another country that will fund an amusement park to that level with government money. It's just crazy. They are building a Disney park in Abu Dhabi that's supposed to be open in like 2034 or 5, but they're not building 600-foot roller coasters at Disney. Hop up. Good boy. So this is kind of there will never be anything like this again. And a lot of the roller coasters there will never be anything like them again, just because there's not money for it. And so I really want to experience this before I kick the bucket. And it would be cool to be one of the first as well. So, and I'm imagining there's going to be kinks, and there's going to be downtime, like it's down for maintenance, or we have to continue testing, especially early on. I'd only imagine that there's going to be, some technical stuff that needs to get worked out. So that's why I'm giving myself 5 days. So I'm hoping at least in one of the 5 days I'll be able to ride everything. But what an incredible experience. The roller coaster is, I'll tell you, I'll tell you. It is. Let's go to RCDB, which it stands for the Roller Coaster Database. This is like the encyclopedia that everybody uses. Six Flags Q. Forget how to spell Qiddiya. Six Flags Qiddiya City. There's 8 roller coasters under construction. Falcon's Flight is, it says opening 2025, but it says late 2025, early 2026. I have a feeling early 2026 is more realistic. It has a elevation, a maximum height of 639.8 feet. The tallest roller coaster we have currently is, I think, 413 or 403. So it's over 230 feet tall than the current world record holder. So that's huge. No one's going to be able to beat that. And that's what they're hoping for, that they'll be able to hold these records forever. And so that's a huge tourism draw, and that's their goal. The highest drop is 519 feet, and I'll explain why that is. Hold on. So its highest elevation is 639.8 feet. The way that they're pulling that off is the roller coaster actually gets launched up a hill up to the top of a canyon. So you're at the top of this canyon, and then you drop off of the canyon, but you're riding along the hill down the canyon. So the actual track isn't that high off the ground, but it's going down a hill. They don't count that as a drop necessarily. So a drop has to be from the top to the bottom. So you can't say, oh, since my roller coaster's on a mountain, it's 7,000 feet tall, even though the highest drop is 80 feet. You know what I mean? Because you're just riding down the side of the hill. So they consider from top to bottom what's the biggest drop in length, and riding down the side of a hill doesn't count, I guess. So that's why the highest drop is 519 feet, because it goes to the bottom of the mountain, then it goes up a giant 519-foot hill and then down. So that's what they count. And 519 feet is, I think, you know I'm such a nerd, guys. Hold on, guys. Okay, so the St. Louis Arch is 630, and this arch that is a roller coaster hill is 519. So about 100 feet shorter than the St. Louis Arch, but could you imagine going up over that arch on a roller coaster train? So it's just gonna be absolutely insane. And its speed is 155.3 miles per hour. What? And its length is almost 14,000 feet of track. I think the longest roller coasters in the world are in the 7,000 range currently, so it's almost double the length of any current record-holding roller coaster. So it's just like everything's getting smashed. It's all gone, and no one will ever be able to do it again. So that's why I'm so interested in pursuing this particular park. Okie dokie. Editing Anthony here. I just wanted to give kind of a visual representation of this roller coaster because I feel like it's kind of hard to
to describe it properly. So this is kind of the main parts of this roller coaster. There's much more, but if you look off to the left-hand side of the photo, you can see how the roller coaster has an incline that goes up to the top of that ridge. So you're accelerating up to the top to get you up there. That's that 600 something feet. And then you come off doing that straight down drop off the edge of the cliff, and then you'll see that tunnel. As you're coming through that tunnel, you're actually going to be accelerating, obviously from gravity, but there's actually magnetic launches that speed you up even faster. So you can, that's that 600-foot part up there, but it speeds you up fast enough to get to that big old arch that's there in the center, and that's that 519-foot tall arch, and they consider the drop off that to be the biggest drop. So you can just see how imposing this ride is, like compared to the trees around it. Of course, this is a rendering, but it is, construction's complete. They are testing it, but this was kind of the best image I could give you to show you like the cliff, what I mean by the cliff, and then the big hill. So they count the drop being from the top of the hill, but just absolutely wild stuff. So yeah, okay, bye.
So yeah, that's what's going on with that. So between that and Europe, finding a new apartment or a new house, I'm just like, 2026 is going to be a very expensive year for me. And I'd like to do a few other Six Flags parks to take advantage of my season pass. So I could see myself doing, I don't think there's another Knott's Berry Farm, but there's Busch Gardens Tampa, Busch Gardens Williamsburg that I'd like to go to. Oh, here's probably what will happen. This will be, if I don't get to go to Saudi Arabia, because I won't go in the spring or summer. That just sounds brutal. Come on. Then what will most likely be the case for spring is I really want to go see Doug, my old roommate. I think I've already mentioned this. But I'd like to do Coaster Mania again, Cedar Point, which will be in June. And because they've opened Top Thrill 2, which is the current record-holding roller coaster, until Falcon's Flight opens. I'd like to do Cedar Point for Coaster Mania again, because they also have that new Siren's Curse roller coaster. And I'd like to do a road trip up and around Lake Erie. So I haven't decided if I want to go around the entire lake, around Canada and back down, or if I want to just go up the east side and back down, like a half lake, but twice. But I'd like to go from Cedar Point to, which is in Sandusky, Ohio, back into Pennsylvania to do Kennywood near Pittsburgh. And then there's a park called Idlewild, not too far from there in Pennsylvania that I didn't get to go to this summer. Hit that one up. Then go up and around, like up Lake Erie. And there's a couple parks, I'll pull it up, that I'd like to go to. I bet the people that have no desire in this are like, Anthony, shut up, but I don't know what to tell you. I am in this to win this. I'm just having a blast. I'm sorry. I'm taking so much joy in like having the opportunity to do this stuff that I have been dreaming of doing forever. And it's just all lining up. It's going good. Okay, so in the summer, this will probably be in June, Cedar Point to Kennywood to Idlewild, then going up to Waldameer, which is in New York, kind of near Buffalo. Nope, it's not. It's in Erie. It's in Erie, Pennsylvania. Waldameer, Then from there, Six Flags Darien Lake, which is in New York. Then Seabreeze, which is in Rochester. Then to Niagara Falls. There's a couple coasters there at the Niagara Amusement Park and Splash World. There's 2. And then there's a roller coaster on top of a Burger King in Niagara Falls that I really want to go on. I heard it's awful, but who else can be like, yeah, I wanted a roller coaster on top of a Burger King. And then wrap it up with Canada's Wonderland. So going up into Canada to Canada's Wonderland. And that park I've heard is incredible. So that would be kind of my summer trip instead of what I did this year. That'd be my summer trip. Now I could either go back down the way I came, but I was also thinking of taking a really beautiful drive through around Canada, around Lake Erie, going to a park called C.J. Barrymore's Family Entertainment Center, which is outside of Detroit, going back down through Toledo into Sandusky, and then home. So basically circumnavigating Lake Erie. And I've had that idea for a while, even before I was wanted to do this whole coaster thing. I've always thought it'd be cool to drive around one of the Great Lakes, just to see. I've never been to Canada before. So that will probably be my summer trip. So yeah, make sure to get those watch hours up, guys. I need that ad revenue. That's gonna be, but so worth it. If Saudi Arabia doesn't happen this year, it's okay. I'll get there someday. But just the idea, like, if you could manage to be one of the first international travelers to experience that park, wouldn't that be cool? But for the cost of going to that one park, I could do multiple trips here in the US. But yeah, let me know, what would you do if you could only pick, if you had limited funds? Would you do that one, or would you say, I could use that same money to do 6 different things closer to home? Let me know. Then of course Europe. It's gonna be huge. So yeah. One other thing I mentioned with on one of these vlogs that'll be lost to time. Let me swap the battery out. Hold on. Let's keep moving. Sat here in the shade for a minute. It's very nice. So yeah, last thing. I have been struggling with this whole new channel content. Like, one of the things that I have a hard time with is my memory and recalling all of the different roller coasters I've been on and all the facts and figures about different manufacturers and parks. Like, I think it's because I'm just not wired that way. And I've always said I have no idea how people who are into sports are able to keep track of, like, this team is doing this well this season, is 0-2, and this player is out for injury, but they just did their draft and this pick and that pick and all the facts and figures and numbers and data around sports. I don't know how people hold all of that stuff in their head and are able to just quickly just spout it out and just know it, like it's always right there, ready, easy access information living in their brain. I've never understood how people can just keep track of all that. And I think what it comes down to is interest, because if you asked me, pretty much anything diamond painting related and like round drills versus square drills and the different types of putties that have been released over the 3 years that I've been keeping up, and shops and different artists, like I could give you, I have a really good handle on that. And I think it's because it's something I actually care about. So maybe that's why I'm not able to grasp how people do the stuff for sports and knowing all the players and the teams and the stats and all that stuff. It's always just boggled my mind. I just feel like really dumb sometimes when I hear people talk about sports, because they're able to pull these tidbits of information that just seem so innocuous or just so random. I'm like, how do you have that in your head at all times and keep up with it? Roller coaster stuff is very similar. There's so many roller coasters in the world, thousands. There's so many parks in the world, and a lot of these coaster enthusiasts that are well-traveled, even just here in the US, they have such good recall of like, oh, I rode this wooden coaster made by Great Coasters International, and it's one of 17 operating Great Coasters International parks in the world. And out of the 6 that I've been on, I'd rank this as number 4 because there was that park in France that had that one wooden roller coaster called Fury. And I think I like this one a little bit better. It has better forces and yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, how in the world can you possibly keep all of that data and easily be able to compare and contrast it on the fly like that? It's wild. I just don't know. Like, I've only ridden 76 roller coasters in my entire life, and 43 of them I rode this year. So in 1 year, I've doubled what I had done in 38 years. And so, let's go this way. So I can't keep up with what I've done. Like, I can't recall stuff like that. Hold on. So I even struggle with the 76 and being able to recall all of their names and where they were and what manufacturer they were, what model type they were, which ones I liked better than the others. It just, I think I like the roller coaster stuff. I like the experience. I like the thrill and the feeling and the atmosphere and the environment and the adrenaline. Like, I like all of that stuff, which I know most enthusiasts, of course, they do too. But it's the facts and the figures and the recalling of what else you've done I'm really struggling with. Like, I listen to Coaster Studios and they'll get off a ride and they're like, what did you think? I really liked that one. It reminds me a little bit of, what was it called? And like, oh yeah, that reminds me of Wildfire that we did 6 years ago in Germany. Or it reminds me of that one in Japan. And it's like, I could never, at least right now it feels like I could never be able to quickly just have all that ready to go, you know? So I think it takes a special brain, or I just have really bad memory, or I'm just not, my brain capacity is just not at the level of some of these people. I just can't hold that info in my head. Now, if you want me to sing every Britney Spears single that's been released, or you want me to sing a little bit of every Sia song that's ever been released, I could probably do a relatively good job. And I think that's the problem, is like, my storage has been taken up with pop songs and all these other things that I don't know. I'm having a tough time, and it makes me feel like I'm not going to be able to succeed, because when people watch those coaster videos, they're looking for that. Like, people that are also enthusiasts or interested in theme parks, they're looking for that compare, that contrast. What's better versus the other one in your opinion, and why? And they want to know the height and the speed and the length and the different types of inversions and who made it. Did it have any former names? Was it relocated from another theme park? Did they move this roller coaster from Kentucky to California and now it's called something else? Like, all of that stuff is important to coaster enthusiasts, but I really struggle with keeping that together. I'm not wired that way. I just want to talk about how fun it was in the moment, you know. So what I did is I started this tracker. You know me and my Google Docs, I love a tracker. And I wrote out every single roller coaster that I've been on. And I have all these different columns. So I have the name of the ride, where it's located, like park, the physical location of the park. So I'm usually just writing city and country. Or no, am I doing city and country? I think so. Yeah, city and country, because I feel like for the US, if I know the city, I'll know the state. And then for the international ones, I'll probably write country, and that's it. I don't know. I'll probably write city. City and country. Yeah, I'll always do city and country. Because I should be able to be like, oh, okay, that's Amsterdam. I don't know. For the international ones, I may need to put country too. Like city and country. Because right now I've just been doing like Denver, USA. But eventually I'll need to do... No, no, city and country should be fine. I don't know why I'm getting hung up on that. Maybe because I keep thinking Europe, but that's not a country. So yeah, I can do Amsterdam, you know, whatever. Copenhagen, Denmark. Yes, that'll be fine. So it's the states that don't matter. In the US, I'll be able to get the state. So, ooh, this is for rent. Let's look. Is this office space? Yeah, it is. Office space. That's too bad. So I did this tracker, and it's got every roller coaster I've been on, the city and the country that it's located in, who made it, what the model type is, you know, because certain manufacturers make several different models. So I have the model type there, when it was built, the year it was built, the last year that I wrote it, so I can say the last time I've been on this is 2025. And then I have my rankings. So I have it ranked by, I guess I could just pull it up so I can talk to you about it. And if you have if you are someone that does a lot of administrative work or loves organization, and there's any other tips you have, or if you're somebody that is either into stats and figures, super into sports, and your brain works this way, where you can be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, this and this and this compared to this, and this time this happened. If you're someone that's really good with that, if you have any sort of like tricks or, you know, things that I can do to improve my ability to recall, please let me know, because it's a huge part of what I'm trying to do with the new channel, or I'll need to know, and it's becoming a hang up for me. It's a point of frustration, and it makes me it discourages me that I can't keep up. So if you know of anything, you better tell me. Oh, you know, it's on the Coaster Pursuit email, and I don't have that. It's on my laptop, not on my phone. But anyway, so then I have my rankings. So I have what my ranking is for that roller coaster overall, like 1 through 76. Which one's number one out of everything I've done? And I'm using my own personal gauge to dictate what I consider my favorite, and my reasons could be different from others. It's just personal opinion. This is all personal opinion, but that one especially, because I'm putting these massive roller coasters up against maybe something smaller, but it was just thrilling even though it was small. Or the scenery was really great, or the location, the fact that it was next to water was really impressive, you know. So that's just overall. Then I have my ranking for the park. So in that particular theme park, what is my ranking 1 to however many they have? Then I have my ranking for that type of roller coaster and manufacturer. So if someone was to say, one of the manufacturers' names is B&M, Bollinger and Mabillard. I think they're French, I want to say. I don't know. Maybe German. Hop up, hop up. He's not going to jump that high. So then I have my ranking for that. Like, what's your favorite B&M inverted coaster, which means you're under the track? What's your favorite B&M wing coaster where you're hanging off of either side of the track? Those are all things that coaster enthusiasts it gets brought up a lot. Like, hey, they just opened a brand new wing coaster called Rapterra at King's Dominion, which is true, they did, and I'm going to be riding it soon, later this year. How do you compare that to Wild Eagle, which is a wing coaster at Dollywood, which you could compare it to? How would you compare it to Gatekeeper, another B&M wing coaster, which is in Cedar Point? So now, at the end of this year, I'll have ridden 3. So I could say my favorite one is blah, because of blah, blah, blah. Second is this. And as I ride more, I should be able to keep that up. So it's like, all right, you've ridden 10. Okay, well, now my favorite is, I don't know, this is a fake one, but Poseidon at Parc Astrix in France is now my new favorite. But a lot of people can keep all that in their heads. So as they're talking with other enthusiasts and riding rides and all this stuff, they very easily can be like this and this and this and this. And I don't and I can't. So I'm hoping this tracker will help me to fake it until I make it, because I have it down as a document. And then the second tab will have that same information. It's a whole different tab, but it's all the coasters that I'm planning on riding upcoming. So upcoming trip coasters. So I have all of that information there. So then once I actually write it, I can pop in my ranking and copy it over to the master list. It's almost like, for diamond painting, it would be completions versus stash or whips. The ones that you haven't done yet, but are on the books, and then the ones that are done. So that's kind of how it is. And if you were to have a ranking of, here's all the diamond paintings I've completed, I'm gonna rank them from favorite to least. I'm gonna rank them by shop. I'm gonna rank them by artist. And I'm gonna rank them based off of round or square. Because I could probably tell you if I sat and thought about it for a minute, like, what's my favorite diamond painting? What's my favorite piece from Yume or Ivy that I've done? What's my favorite round that I've done? Like, I could do all that, but I can't. For whatever reason, I have a hard time doing it with roller coasters. And again, I think it's because my interest level is focused on something else. Whereas for diamond painting, that is kind of part of it. Like, I like knowing all that stuff. With roller coasters, I'm learning to like it. But I just worry that my brain's too mushy or something to get it figured out. I'm not smart enough to figure this out. So if you have any suggestions. But anyway, so the other tab has the upcoming ones so I can plug them in. So what that means is when, let's say I go to Dollywood next month, and I'm walking around the park, I've got my phone on me, filming with the action camera. We get up to Lightning Rod, which is a Rocky Mountain construction coaster that was open in 2016. You know, I know a few things. But if I need to know all the specific facts and figures and I want to quickly reference the other RMCs that I've been on, Rocky Mountain construction coasters, which at this point will have been Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point, Wildcat's Revenge at Hershey Park, and at this point I'll have already been to King's Dominion, so I'll have ridden Wind Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom. So by the time I get to Dollywood, that'll have been my 4th. So I'll need to have that information and say, okay, I've ridden 3 others so far. Let's see how this stacks up, and then be able to recall. But if I don't know offhand, or I'm struggling, then I'll have the camera pointed away from me like we are now, and I can pull out my phone, cut the clip, pull out my phone, do a little read, look through my spreadsheet and be like, oh, that's right. There was a mine train coaster built by the company Intamin that I rode at a couple different parks. Okay, cool. And I can click on the camera again and be like, all right, so we're in front of blah, blah, blah. And here's all the info. So rather than having committed it to memory, I can use the tracker as a crutch, and I hope that no one would be the wiser because they won't see me. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't think I'd get any hate for having a cheat sheet, but I can use that and lean on that while I'm filming because I don't know. And then the other thing that I did for this upcoming trip is I put together my itinerary with all my costs and stuff, but underneath I put each park that I'm going to. This is a Word document or a Google Doc. I put each park that I'm going to underneath, each roller coaster, and then I wrote a little paragraph, sometimes nothing, because it's like a kid's coaster or something. I'm not particularly excited about it. It's just to get my numbers up. But for the ones that I do want to say something in particular about, I've written a little paragraph that's like, all right, guys, we're in front of, come on, Apollo, why are you being slow? Come on. He's like, Dad, we passed the house. I put together a little paragraph that's like, hey, all right, everyone, we're in front of Pantheria. This roller coaster is from Intamin. It's one of their Giga Coaster models, meaning it's taller than 300 feet. And it was actually titled Fury 3 or Intimidator 305, based off of Dale Earnhardt, but it got a rebranding and now it's part of their kind of jungle expedition themed area, and now it's called Pantheria or Pantherion. Anyway, and it has kind of a panther vibe. They've repainted it, like all of the little intricacies. And I know that one because I wrote that script recently, but I wrote the little script to help me be able to have all those facts and figures. The fact that it was renamed and repainted and rethemed. It's known as one of the most intense, if not the most intense roller coaster in the world, which I'm super excited about. A lot of people black out on that ride, so I'm curious to get on it. So that's the kind of thing that, again, a lot of people just have in their head, but I have a tough time. But I think writing out these scripts and prepping all this stuff so that way when I get to the park, I can point at the entrance like that, like I'm pointing at this sign and saying, all right, here we are in front of Pantheria. This is a blah, blah, and I can just read it off my phone. So some people might count that as cheating because I don't have it all committed to memory. And I think if I was put on the spot and I wasn't filming, I think it'll just help. But again, if you are the type of person that can pull those facts and figures out of boom, 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 let me know, because I'll be on these Instagram chats with people, with coaster people. I've also done, they have meetups occasionally, and one of the things that they like to do is coaster trivia. So they'll do trivia for roller coasters. A question will pop up on the screen. They do it on this certain app that you can download to do everyone can be playing a game no matter where they are in the world. You just join the server and you can play. So they'll do trivia nights. I've never been any higher than last place every time. I don't know. I think it's a combination of lack of experience, but just not being able to commit a lot of this stuff to memory. And then they even do a game called Geo Guessing, where they uploaded all these photos from theme parks around the world, and they're all theme parks that Taylor and Sarah from Coaster Studios have been to, is usually how they do it, because this is all part of their Patreon. So we'll do that. They put up a picture, and it's just a Google Street View of inside or near or around a theme park in the world. And they're able to guess the location of that picture, the right theme park, just based off of a Google Street View image of like one of the bathrooms. And I'm like, how have you been able to commit all of that stuff? It hurts even thinking about it, but I want to be there with them. You know, I want to be at that level, and I just worry that I'm just not smart enough. So again, if you have any tips, let me know. So, okay, all of that aside, diamond painting. Oh, we're going to talk about diamond painting in like the last 5 minutes. Anthony, we hate you. Everyone hates you. You turned this channel into talking. Now it's just talking about the other thing. But I hope it still keeps you company. I'm bad. I feel bad. But no, I don't, because I love this, and I think we've established that I just like to share my interests and things with you, and this is it's huge. I think about theme parks and roller coasters and the travel stuff 95% now, and diamond painting 5% now. But I hope you're still enjoying the babbling, the rambling. But diamond painting. We'll just talk about my whips. You know what I have kitted up, not started, is Sedona Majesty by Abraham Hunter and Diamond Art Club. Haven't touched it. No diamonds down. Whips that are on a long-term hiatus. My Custom of Apollo by Jaded Gem Shop. Cognac Biscuit by Alphonse Mucha and Diamond Painting Shop, which I'll be picking back up in November for Mucha Mania. And then Cresting by Iterations Crafts and Creativity Squirrel. I'd like to get that done by the time I move, so sometime next year. Then we have Garden of Earthly Delights by Hieronymus Bosch and Jaded Gem Shop. I don't know when I'll ever get that done. It's just hanging out. Then we have the two whips that I'm actually working on. That's going to be Inner Garden by Yume Art and Diamond Art Club. I've done the border of it all the way around, so now I just need to do the middle. And it should actually go pretty fast once I commit some time to it, but I haven't really touched that because I've been focusing on my pinup paint-along kit, which is Tropicana by Henry Clive and Jaded Gem Shop. I've done the bottom row, the column on the right-hand side going up to the top, and then the top row going across, save for one section. Got one section left, which I should be able to do today, and then I'll have like a reverse C on it. And then I will come down, column on the left-hand side, and just keep going around and around. That's kind of what I've been doing for quite some time now with diamond paintings, is working on them in a spiral, if the size allows. With those bigger Mucha panels, I usually just go bottom to the middle and then top to the middle and meet myself in the middle, because it's hard with those long panels to be rotating the canvas on the table. But these ones that are, these aren't small, like the Tropicana is an 80 by 90, but it's 80 by 90, it's not 60 by 130 or 160. So it's easier to turntable style. But anyway, so that's what's going on there. I told you I bought a bunch of Mary Mud. So that should be coming in. I'll be doing an unboxing. I may be filming my stash video here soon, like perhaps next week, time permitting, or the week after. Filming my stash video so I can start earmarking stuff for D-Stash. So essentially what I'm going to do with my stash video is get my computer out, get all of my canvases out, and show them to everyone by manufacturer. Make sure that they're in my tracker and updated. And then if they're going to be destashed, I will be highlighting them. And earmarking them for destash. And then after the fact, I'll go back through and set prices for them. Probably gonna do it auction style. Let me know if you're comfortable with an auction style where it's like starting bid is $30 and we're gonna do increment bids of $1. So someone can pop on the live and be like, 31, I'll do 31, 32, 33. Let me know if you'd like that or if you just want me to give you a price. All right, this kit is $50 and that's it. There's no haggling. That's just the price. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. So let me know which one you'd prefer. And I'll take that into consideration. I don't have a preference one way or the other, but I also know that certain kits are much more desirable than others, and people might want the opportunity to get it out of someone's hands, because before I was just doing the first person to say mine, I'll take it for 50, gets it. And then other people would, I remember this from my other D-Stash, people would be like, dang it, I wanted that one too. So I think by doing the bidding, that gives people the opportunity to kind of duke it out for a kit they really want, as opposed to being the quickest with their fingers. You know what I mean? So I think I want to do auction, but let me know if that sounds horrible. And it'll be a live stream. We'll probably have to do it in multiple parts, or it'll be a whole day event. And I plan on releasing my Google Doc with the starting bids and the order in which you will see them on the live stream, the order in which they will be put up for auction. So you know that the kit that you want is going to be number 47. So you're not sitting through 3 hours of live stream, or you can pop in and be like, okay, he's at number 1. I'm going to check again in 20 minutes. Okay, he's at number 8, you know, that type of thing. So you'll know which order they'll go up on. And then, you know, once the highest bid has been placed and we're sitting there for maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, we'll say, okay, going once, going twice, it's gone to this person. I will have you fill out a Google form, which will be linked in the chat, throughout the chat and in the description. You'll fill out the form saying, hi, it's Doretta. I had the number 1 bid for Under the Stairs by Yume Art. And here is my name, shipping name, and address. That way I can plug your address into, I think it's called ShipMonkey or MailMonkey or something like that I used to use. And then I can email you the PayPal invoice that'll have the cost of the kit and the cost of shipping, and you just need to pay that amount and I will send it to you. And I usually give people a deadline of 1 week from, this is what I did last time. I think I gave people a deadline of 1 week after the time that the invoice was sent to pay to make it happen. Otherwise it went back into the stash, and then I would subsequently maybe do another D-Stash or something. So let me know if that sounds good. Don't know when that will happen, but anyway, so I'd like to do that D-Stash or that stash video, maybe the last one I ever do, I don't know, and get that posted, and then we're good to go. Let's cross the street one more time. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I did break down today and I bought 2 diamond paintings. I'm mad at myself, but it had to be done. It had to be done. They restocked Weather Goddess from Ivy Dollamore, and that kit has been on my wish list since it got released and it went out of stock, and now it came back. And it's been out of stock for quite some time, and I was worried it just wouldn't come back. So I saw that it came back and I was like, I love this kit so much. I know it's not the one I want from Ivy Dollamore, but it is a one. And I told myself that I could see breaking my no buy for that kit if it came back, and it came back. it's just so cool. It's so damn cool. So I got it, and then I got a second kit. It's the new one that just came out from Yume Art that has the fox on it. That thing was so beautiful. That thing was so beautiful. So I picked up those two. I used a $50 off coupon. So those won't be on the D-stash. I don't think I'll have any Yume's or Ivies on this D-stash, so just know that. It's probably not going to be anything from those two artists. They're my favorite, and a bunch of the ones that I have are no longer available. In fact, one of the Yume's that I had on my wish list is now discontinued, and I was like, dang it, but it's okay. Should have got it when I had the chance. So that's why I got this Yume, because I'm like, they have this habit of discontinuing Yume's. And it's usually like the panel pieces, like the taller panels from Yume. For whatever reason, they have a habit of not re-releasing those. Like they did that last Black Friday. They came out with like a few of these tall panel pieces from Yume, and then very shortly thereafter, they just marked them as they're not coming back. And they just did that with another one. So when this Yume that got released yesterday at the time of filming this came out, it's not quite a panel, but I'm like, I'm gonna get it because they seem to like to discontinue these Yume's. So I better get this. So yeah, anyway. So be on the lookout for that stash video in the next few weeks. You'll also have the announcement video for Muga Mania. And then as far as the pinup paint along goes and the live stream that I was planning on doing, I got signed up to do a career fair on Friday the 26th, and that was the day that I wanted to do the live stream. So I'm going to be at this career fair pretty much all day. I think it's from 8:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon. So I don't know if I'm going to do a live stream for the pinup paint along, and if I do, I might bump it out to that Saturday, the following day, or I could even see myself bumping it out to Monday, the 29th of September, because I was supposed to have that Friday off. That's why I wanted to do the live that day. But now I'm doing this job fair, but they're giving me Monday off in lieu of Friday, so I might do it on Monday. Let me know if you have a preference. Would you rather see a live stream happen on a Saturday? I just worry that I might step on someone's toes that's also live. But let me know if you prefer a Saturday, or is it cool if I do it Monday the 29th during the day sometime? Let me know. But yeah, we've been circling the house for a while. Thanks so much for coming along on this long one. But I feel like I just wanted to talk to you about a bunch of stuff. So thanks so much for coming along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.